Mike 1 Juliet, this is Bravo 1 Charlie, over.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet. Great work at the River Passage, boys. I've got a new job for you straight away. You are go for Objective Mustang. Over.
Could you tell her I said hi?
Objective Mustang, affirmative. Out. Okay, listen up, boys. There's a farm due west, possibly held by Russian forces. We're going to scout it and clear out any hostiles.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefield Bad Company. Our next objective here is to proceed towards a farm and basically clear out any enemies that we find there. This will be a fairly sort of common task, just heading to an objective and killing anyone there. It's not too imaginative, but we're here for the gameplay, so that's welcome enough.
So, new guy, I bet you're wondering how three nice guys like us ended up in bad company, right?
I bet he won't be wondering for long.
Well, Haggard got transferred here for blowing up the biggest ammo dump east of Paris. I, myself, accidentally uploaded a virus to the Army Secure Network, and the Sarge... Well, why don't you tell him yourself, Sarge?
I made a deal. They cut my term short if I agreed to transfer here.
Only problem is B Company has the highest mortality rate in the Army, so the Sarge is really playing long odds.
For 3 more days, then I'm going fishing and you can have this war all to yourselves.
So we'll pretty much be playing it safe from here on.
You can see me there on the drive over showing off the Frostbite engine's destructive capabilities. It's actually pretty impressive and very cool, and not only does it look good, but it does actually factor into the gameplay. In a mostly obvious fashion, if someone's hiding behind some cover, then you can blow it up or destroy it and get at them that way. For example, if I reload, you can see that we can get at him through the nice big hole in the house that we've created. They do tend to leave an sort of excess of red explosive barrels around. I mean, to be fair, this is kind of... well, it's kind of a video game common theme, but it's more common in this game mostly so that you can blow things up. It's not entirely unwelcome though, and it does provide you with ample opportunities, so, you know, no one's complaining. One thing which I possibly haven't mentioned too much is the radar in the bottom left. As your team will see people, they'll spot them and you'll get a good idea of where the enemies are. It actually is very useful because at times it can be a little difficult to tell where you're being shot from. Having a look at the map to see where the enemies are will give you a good idea of where to go next. I don't tend to be very sort of organized when I go through buildings and clear enemies. I mostly just go from place to place wherever seems like the nearest enemy is or the easiest enemy to get to. One thing which doesn't come up too often during the main gameplay, although it is, you know, certainly a factor, is that bullets do have bullet drop and they are sort of affected by gravity. Normally people are close enough that it really doesn't make too much of a difference, but if you're shooting someone quite far away, or for example if you're sniping, you do have to make sure that you aim slightly above them.
He's down. Shit to him out, Haggard.
Regroup!
Do you hear that? I thought I heard something. Is this another joke about me talking too much? Because if it is, I can tell you that...
He's right. It's coming from the barn.
Oh, crap!
We gotta take out that tank! Marlowe! Something else to take down that tank! See what you can find! So,
because this is a Battlefield game, anyone who's familiar with the series will know that vehicles do feature prominently. This is our first actual encounter with some armor directly, and you'll see that we do have quite a few ways of killing them. The first one, perhaps the most obvious, is just the rocket launcher.
Well done! Let's regroup after smoke!
Feels good, doesn't it? I remember blowing up my first tank.
I'm gonna switch back to the power tool for the moment because it will come in handy later.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet. You've got air support inbound. Stay low and wait for the bird. Out.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Super 6-5. I'm inbound to your AO. Hang tight. Out. Got a visual on the LZ. Stand clear. Out. Here's the 6-5. I'm hit. I'm hit. Hell, nigga. 6-5. Going down. 6-5 going down.
Shit! God damn it, we're on our own again.
Shit, I knew it!
We're having trouble getting an evac chopper to your position, so you're going to have to keep working for a while. What's your status? Over.
We're good to go. Over.
We are rerouting your squad to deal with the anti-air battery at Objective Impala. This is your new objective. Out.
Listen, guys. Object Impala is an anti-air enforcement. Our orders are to take it out. Gear up.
I wonder what Miss July would like to do for a weekend getaway.
You wouldn't have the guts to ask her.
This is a war, Sweetwater. You don't get the weekend off.
Yeah, well, someday this war's gonna end.
Wash your mouth out with soap.
One of the things which always kind of bugged me was how calm Miss July sounds about the chopper. You'd think she'd at least be a little shaken up about someone obviously dying horribly.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet. We're seeing a lot of enemy movement in your area. Do you have a visual? Over.
Machine gun in the tree
Supply
line!
trucks in support. Over.
I hear you. Hang tight for a while. Out.
Look around for C4!
One of the advantages to this game being so vehicle heavy is that every so often if you're driving around you can actually just hop in the mounted machine gun and use it to your advantage. Often you are stuck on foot and you don't have the choice, but certainly when you do have a vehicle around, it's a good idea to use anything that you have.
They're all over the place! Okay, take it easy with the explosives. Don't get me wrong, you can have some great fun with it. Just be careful where you place it.
Use the C4 and blow up those guns now!
So we have 3 markers on our HUD indicating where we need to go. Just one C4 will do the trick, so we have enough to even mess up a couple of times.
Enemy behind you!
Your team, you'll notice, is actually quite good at pointing out where the enemies are. Occasionally they will actually shout and tell you that there's someone shooting at you. Like I said, if it's getting a little hectic and they haven't necessarily popped up on the radar just yet, it can be quite handy because, the camouflage works pretty damn well.
I bet
That's the
those are the
second
guns
gun,
that
Marlo!
built Super
Get
6-5!
Stay low! Stay in the trenches!
You'll notice that my team isn't exactly doing too much at the moment. It is kind of a little weird. Sometimes they will help you, and sometimes they'll just sort of hang back and be a bit useless. It's like sort of constant balancing act, I guess, between your team actually helping you out and you getting to be the Rambo-style action hero, which is basically why you're playing the game.
Keep them low!
Good teamwork, guys. Guys, regroup!
One of the things they're fairly generous with is leaving sort of ammo boxes lying around for you, so it's generally easy enough after a firefight to sort of fill yourself up. You don't have to worry too much about ammo.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet. Over.
This is Bravo 1 Charlie Actual. Over.
Great work on those AA guns. Not quite time to kick back yet, though. The trucks you spotted seem to be headed for a farm to the east. It may be a supply dump, and if you're still in the fight, you're our best shot to take it out. Over.
Yeah, we've got it. Over.
Then you are go for Objective Bronco. Out.
Okay, guys. It seems we've got another farm to secure before I can leave for that fishing trip. Buckle up.
Hey, Preston. You wouldn't have a couple of bucks to borrow me?
Don't give him any. He's always trying to borrow from rookies.
Yeah, because you die so fast that most of the time I don't have to pay back. No offense.
No, why should he be offended? Heavens to Betsy. You're just trying to steal his money while you wait for him to die.
I figure if I hit 100 rookies for 10 bucks, that's $10,000 for the Haggard retirement.
Yeah, or you could use it to brush up on your math.
When you're rich, you don't need it.
One of the things which this game does extremely well compared to pretty much any other game I've seen is sort of the chatter between the guys in your group. They do have quite a substantial character which gets sort of fleshed out in these little interactions. And it's really good. It does sort of break up the monotony and gives you a little bit of feeling to the game when perhaps you're a little bit, you know, bored with whatever you're doing.
You'll get some metal!
Move out!
You can sometimes get lucky with those in-place machine guns and get a shot right in through the viewing slit, but it's generally a little difficult to do unless you're very close and you've got a good shot. The easier way to do it is to chuck a grenade in, but as you can see, I'm not too good at that all the time. The other way to do it is just to run around behind and flank it where it can't actually hit you. It's got a fairly limited turning circle, which does kind of screw you up if you try to use it against the enemy. Normally it's pointed exactly away from you and it's pretty useless. Like I said, the machine gun now is pointed backwards and there's not actually anyone there, so if we tried to use it, it would just be making you sickened up. It's sometimes a little tricky whether to use the iron sights or whether to just use, you know, firing from the hip. Firing from the hip is actually decently accurate compared to some games where, you know, pretty much iron sights or you're going to miss. However, it's not necessarily a sure thing, because although you can fire from the hip and hit people, it's not necessarily a guaranteed hit, and if you've got the time, it's definitely better to use the iron sights.
Got enemy reinforcements coming in.
Are we gonna do this whole offensive by ourselves? I mean, weren't there one or two other guys here a while ago? You know, the U.S. Army?
Oh, they're on their way, but we're gonna have to hold this place until they get here. Demolition effort! We've got a vehicle moving by the bridge!
This mounted machine gun is actually pretty powerful. You can see there that it was able to blow up that APC.
We need to hold this position just a little bit longer.
And occasionally when you're in the gunner seat, they will actually drive it around. I mean, the guys who are sitting in the driver's seat.
Coming by the bridge!
In this case, it wasn't entirely useful, but well, it certainly doesn't hurt.
Nice job! Enemy truck from the south!
The enemies will tend to jump out of the truck as soon as it starts taking some fire, but if they're in something with a little bit more power, they'll stay in that until they die. There's no way to hijack enemy armor. And that BMP is just a little bit too much for us.
I think I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
Not going to be able to take that out with a machine gun anyway.
Back to the junkyard!
Regroup!
I've possibly said this before, but the Frostbite engine is really pretty, and one of the things it does well is explosions.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Here comes the cavalry!
What took you so long? You get held up in traffic?
Good job, guys. We're moving out with the convoy. Let's go!
Who you reckon would win a fight? One of those Russian tanks or Truckosaurus Rex? Tank. Sure, it has firepower, obviously. Jaws, on the Druckosaurus Rex. Man, I've seen him chew through solid steel. Christ's sake, another artillery barrage! Run! Man, that convoy has the worst luck!
Incoming! Move! Move! Mike 1 Juliet, this is Bravo 1 Charlie. We're getting killed out here. Over?
Bravo 1 Charlie, that'd be the artillery at Objective Taurus. Stand by for air support. We'll clear that right up. Out. Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet. They're jamming Air Force weapon systems and I see a few radar trailers. You get those and we'll airmail you some fireworks. Over.
Roger. We're mobile. Out. All right, you heard the lady.
One of the things I do quite like about sort of the progression in this game is that you do tend to do stuff like this quite a lot. Sort of you'll be sitting and you need some air support for something, but the airs can't get in for whatever reason, so you need to sort of support them by taking out some radar jammers or anti-air or whatever. It's a little touch, but it does actually help because it ties it all together and it gives you a little bit more sort of reason for actually doing whatever it is you're doing. When you're in a game like this and some of the objectives tend to be a little bit arbitrary, it always helps to have just a little bit more reasoning behind what you're doing. You can kind of see what I mean there. It's a little difficult to see where you're getting shot from, although you do kind of get a direction from the indicators on the HUD. The guys actually blend in pretty well with their surroundings, so unless you can see them or they're marked on the radar, it's quite easy to get surprised by them. On the subjects of complaints, actually, yes, I was trying to blow this up, but it looks like you can only hit that with grenades. But on the subject of complaints, I sometimes find that the reload times are excessively long on some of the guns. I don't know exactly how, realistic or unrealistic any kind of time is, but it does kind of tend to get me if I'm wanting to shoot someone and I run out, and it takes, sort of a good 5+ seconds to actually reload. It's certainly different from other shooters, so it does kind of tend to screw me up.
Reload! Look out behind you!
Anyway, we found the radar trailer, so it's time to blow them up. These actually won't go in one hit, so we need to throw down a couple of charges before we detonate.
That's one jammer down. Let's take out the other one and bring in the air jockey. That's one over there. Oh! Keep him down. More hostiles.
One of the things about this area is you're actually getting attacked from the front there, where you actually can't advance because of that red area on the map.
Bravo 1 Charlie, Objective Taurus is a go. Stand clear of kill box and wait for the fireworks.
This is 07 at 12 miles now, bearing 270 Angel Street. Stand by for bomb drop.
Oh, man! I should have joined the Air Force! That's what I call an explosion!
Bravo 1 Charlie, hope you enjoyed the show. Juno convoy is rolling again. Good job, boys. Now move in and clear out remaining hostiles. Out.
Are those guys really Ruskies? I don't think so, Hags. Man, I have a bad feeling about this.
There are quite a few guys out there in sort of no man's land attacking us. I tried to get on the MG here, but Unfortunately, there's just way too much smoke and can't really see these guys clearly, so I'm pretty much firing blind. This is one of the cases where the team has actually advanced up ahead of me. Like I say, they do tend to be a bit unpredictable, so in this case I guess they decided they wanted to go on ahead. These guys tend to be a lot better than the Russians that we've played before, and they're carrying a lot better weapons as well. Switched out because I was out of ammo, but this is certainly a much better weapon, the XM8 here. It's more powerful and it has a lot faster reload there, but I'm not entirely sure if it's more accurate or not. It seems to be about the same. These guys will certainly kill you a lot faster, you need to be a lot more careful. As Sweetwater was saying there, they're not Russians.
This is Bravo 1 Charlie Actual, reporting success on Objective Taurus. Over.
You've done great, Sergeant. And you're all still there? Over.
Actually, I think we've lost Sweetwater.
Come again? Over.
Dismiss that. Out. Sweetwater!
Sorry, Sergeant.
I'm over here, Sarge! And I think you'd all better get in here.
Boy, this better be good.
Damn smoke.
You haven't gone and hurt yourself, have you? If they ship you home as well, I'll be alone with the new guy.
Come here, take a look at this.
He's not Russian?
Nope, we got ourselves a mercenary. One of the Legionnaires, no less.
Whoa, the Legionnaire. I thought that was just a spook story.
Nah, he's real. Got his own damn army. Some say the deadliest in the world. Now look at this. Acta non verba. That's the Legionnaire's motto. It's Latin, and it means action, not words.
Hang on, I was at the Taco Emporium. I think you'll find that Spanish.
Oh, just shut up. Then your motto should be verba non acta, because you never shut the hell up. Let's get out of here.
You should listen, Sarge. Knowledge is power. For example, rumor says he always pays in gold bars.
I'll just check for a pulse in his pockets. Well, slap me hard and call me El Dorado.
Okay, El Dorado, let's have a look.
Whoa, finders keepers, that's the rule.
So, that's how it started. We found this little piece of gold. To people with less moral fiber, that might have posed a problem. But we're all men of duty. So, when the sergeant said the gold belonged to the army, we all agreed and got back to work.